Nebraska women's soccer coach John Walker. How you doing, my friend?
Good, Adam. How are you?
I'm doing good. So I'm going to go backwards before I go forwards. That's what I tend to do in my interviews. Nebraska had a phenomenal season last year. All right, won the Big Ten regular season title, made a deep run into the NCAA tournament. All right, made it to the Final Four. Great elite game versus Stanford that went to double overtime. Talk to me about last season, your memories from last season, and how you were able to have so much success as a team a year ago.
Yeah, it was a great season, Adam. Great group of players, like super hardworking team, dynamic, exciting, explosive attacking team, and we were really consistent. We maybe started the conference a little slow, but then we got going. We won our last 6 games, and just an exciting, fun year. We weren't ranked in the preseason or anything like that, but we kind of had the feel going into the season that we had quite a strong team. So, like the run we went on, I don't not any coffee wearing like that. I don't think it surprised everyone within the program, just because we felt like we had that potential, and just like I said, a really great group of players. Over half of them are from Nebraska. Usually, if we played 11, we started 11 in a game, 5 or 6 would be from Nebraska, and several more coming in off the bench. So has a nice homegrown feel to it as well.
So what do you attribute that improvement to, not being ranked in the preseason? Then you win your last 6 games of the year, you win the Big Ten regular season title, making such a deep run. Like, really, what do you attribute that improvement throughout the course of the year to? How did you guys get better and make those strides?
Yeah, I think a lot of it came in the previous kind of spring. We're big program. The main things in the program are development, with a real commitment to development. Like really try to dig in, be really detailed with that part, and then super competitiveness, like in any sport, team sports. That's often the difference between winning and losing when talent, is fairly similar, and then a super strong team culture. And I think the one thing was the team just kind of up together. So now we have a large senior class. So a big group came in 2021. We were just kind of average that year, right around 500. And then the following year we improved. We finished 4th in the conference. We just missed the NCAA tournament. But by the end of the season, we felt we were actually like a pretty good team. And then so I think we felt that the momentum was there, and that's a lot of development stuff again. And then that's really what kicked off in 2023. And as you know, like in any sports, once you do win a few games, and confidence is a big thing in there as well. And we have like an identity in how we play. Like I said, we're a high press and a high octane team to take a lot of risks in how we do things. But it works for us, and the players are very comfortable now with that style of play, and a lot of them have experience now, and have really grown into be a lot of really good individual players, and then ultimately a good team.
I love that. No risk, no reward. That's what I always say. Now, you mentioned about half this roster, these girls are from Nebraska. So what has been the key to recruiting the state of Nebraska? And when you're looking for someone who you're going to recruit, like what are some of the things you look at and you look for?
Well, the first thing is we do want to try and recruit all the best local players. If they're good enough and hungry enough, and again have that real commitment towards development and competitiveness, then we definitely want to keep those players in Nebraska, and that's what we've done. It's like I'm not sure all the other sports teams at Nebraska, if any, have as high a percentage of in-state players on the team. And then the big one for us, just in terms of when we go to watch some player practice, it's nothing fancy or detailed in what we do, but we're looking for base athleticism, competitiveness, skill set, game intelligence, And then I think also, kind of leadership or team, like a good teammate, someone that you can tell on the field enhances their team. And so that's what we tried to do. And again, maybe if the refinement level is not quite as high, we're okay with that because of the commitment to development.
Now, as this season starts to get rolling for you all, you and Penn State are kind of the two early favorites in the Big Ten this year. I believe they are preseason fourth in the country. They finished fifth in the country last year. You're sixth in the country. You finished seventh in the country last year. Talk to me about kind of the expectations within your program and the thought process going into this season, because obviously people are paying a lot more attention this year with the rankings and some of the respect you're being given so far early on at this point in the season.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, and I know it's going to sound like Coach cliche stuff, but one of the first things we did in our first team meeting this year was pull up the preseason rankings from last year. And of course, last year we were not ranked, and there were a number of teams that were ranked in the top 10, top 15 that didn't even make the NCAA tournament. And so the message to the players was, it didn't matter last year what people said, people that vote in these polls. We didn't listen last year, did our own thing. So just because they have ranked us this year, it doesn't mean we listen again. I think the key thing is you just focus on everything within your program. Are you competing hard every day? Are you committed to development? Are you a good teammate? Those are the main things, and you really cannot worry about what other people think of you. And like I said, the perfect example is last year. I don't think people obviously didn't think we were that strong a team, but that didn't matter. At the end of the season, that's the beauty of sports. It's determined on the field.
All right, you head to Norman, Oklahoma to take on the Sooners tomorrow night at 7 p.m. What do you know about the Sooners early on at this point in the season? I know everything's just kind of getting going. And then I got to ask, is there kind of a similar rivalry in women's soccer between Nebraska and Oklahoma as there is some of the other sports, or is that a little bit different?
I think it's different, Adam, and I think almost generationally, like you think of the student athlete today may not even know that Nebraska and Oklahoma used to be big rivals in the Big 8 and then in the Big 12, and now both schools aren't even in either one of those conferences. One of the Big 8 doesn't exist anymore. So I don't think there's that natural rivalry. Maybe some of the in-state players may know it from their families, but in general, I don't think so. But Oklahoma will be a very good team. Super athletic. Their coach Matt Mott's actually a friend of mine. He's in his second year there, and I think has really made big changes within the program. They were a pretty decent team last year, but I think this year they have a whole ton of transfers in, new recruiting class. So it's really a new team. But he had a lot of success at Ole Miss. He was there before, kind of perennial NCAA tournament team. So I think it'll be a super hard game for us. To me, I think there'll be an NCAA tournament team.
All right, I got to ask if you've been watching the Olympics, the U.S. women's soccer team. They were able to take down fourth-ranked Germany 1-0 in their semifinal rematch. Scoreless after 90 tense minutes of regulation, but in the 95th minute of extra time, Sophia Smith put the Americans on the board with a pretty sweet shot that darted beyond the reach of the charging German goalkeeper. Now they're going to be playing for the gold medal. Have you been able to watch the Olympics at all? What are your thoughts on the U.S. women's soccer team in the Olympics?
Yeah, I've been able to watch some, but not quite all because we're in 2 days. But I've been able to watch some, and then obviously watch highlights and go back. And I think they played really well. They have a really dynamic younger front line with Trinity Rodman, Sophia Smith, and Mallory Swanson, like super dynamic mobile front line. And actually the most dangerous group of attackers in the tournament. And it'll be a hard game against Brazil, but I would expect the U.S. plays well. They have a great chance to win.
All right. So I never in a million years would have predicted that soccer would become such a big thing in the Carriker household, but my wife loves soccer. I've always respected soccer. It is one of the most impressive sports I've ever seen or watched. I try to go out and play it myself, and somehow the ball doesn't go where I want it to go. But my wife is big into it. She coaches club soccer. And as a result, four of our six kids, four of our daughters play club soccer, and they love soccer, and so they're loving it. We're watching all the U.S. women's games in the Olympics, obviously watching Nebraska women's soccer, your team as well. So I guess my question would be, do you have any advice, or what advice would you give for young soccer players, boys or girls out there?
Yeah, I think two things. Try and get the technical skills part mastered, or attempt to master it at an early age. So basic receiving, ball striking, turns, volleys, all those things. Really get that down, because it makes things a lot easier. You feel like you have time on the ball, you can make good decisions because you have the skills to be able to do that. And then the second one would be try to play as much kind of unstructured soccer as you can. So just like the way a basketball player, they'll go to the gym and play 2-on-2. Or shoot the ball, work on the shot and stuff like that. I would advise the same thing for soccer players. I think in this country, I think soccer for a lot of people, for a lot of young players, is soccer is when their next soccer practices, and you go around the world and a lot of other places. They might have structured practices, but there's a lot more of kind of unstructured pick-up play and just working on their own. So that would be my advice. I think it might be too late for you, Adam, but might be okay for your daughters.
It's way too late for me. So full disclosure, I was like, I don't know, 7 or 8, and my older sister, who's older than me by about 5 years, was playing soccer in the front yard. I was like, you know what? I'll just go give this soccer thing a try. And she humiliated and embarrassed me, and that was pretty much the end of very short, non-existent soccer career. It's definitely too late for me. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, that's okay. It's good you're giving it a try with your daughters.
All right. I appreciate your time, Coach Walker, and good luck on the season as well. Thank you for joining me.